But Jordy Smith will be up against Wade Carmichael in the first heat of the day. Both these surfers knocked out in the third round up there on the Gold Coast. So you know that they're hungry for a result. They want to break through here. Jordy wants to keep that magic roll alive, Pete. 2 finals in as many years. The champion last year. He wants to get that big bell once again here in Victoria.
Yeah, I think we're real fortunate that the forecast had some scary winds early, but pretty clean now.
The first ride of the day will go to Wade Carmichael. Big carve to get started. Loosens that tail a little on the second turn. A confident start for the rookie against one of the best out here on the bowl. And now he's looking for a big finish on the inside. Belts it, no problem at all on the closeout. So a real positive start for Wade. And now will be all eyes on Jordy to see how he responds. See what the 26-year-old got done once again.
So you see the appeal of going for a wave like this is that you get these sections that stay full, so you can do a major maneuver. You're not just doing the cutback, the flat cutback. I mean, every time he comes off the bottom, there is another section there, and the finish has to be strong, and he does that. Little layback snap. I mean, if you were to just criticize it, you would say you want a little bit more major maneuvers. You know, a lot of this stuff was done out in the face, which is good, and that's his strong point. You see, again, finishing his turns by getting that nose pointing the other direction, almost pointed all the way up. They're here, and they need to be here right at sunrise. So they're actually sitting there kind of doing some armchair judging of the free serves.
Jordy Smith now in reply. Let's see what he can do. Driving into this first section. And hits it pretty hard. A lot of spray coming off the rail. That flow, so pretty to watch. And that is an explosive finish there on the inside, really kicking that tail hard. So moving through his ride with maybe a little bit more speed than Wade, just because the wave stood up on the outside.
And he has to have that in order to point a difference over Wade Carmichael. Again, this wave here, a little bigger wave. First section, glides it, but he hits the lip. And look at this section here, and lays into it. So much power in that maneuver. Another beautiful carve, and then the solid finish with lip and releasing into the morning light. You would have to say in this exchange that Jordy probably with these major maneuvers, as you look at the layback snap, I mean, this is so reliable, compressing with all that speed to keep the momentum down the line, comes out with it with such control.
This wave had more of a link, and so he was able to flow through his maneuvers more. Right here, we'll see Jordy on a kind of a more inside wave, and it looks like it's got a little lump in it as well. So these wave choice is such a big part of today, finding that wave that stretches out across that reef and actually has a continuous wall on it that you can actually combine maneuvers without going anything in between.
Each competitor, and this exchange is going to be crucial. Jordy Smith, without priority, is paddling into this one. Gets over the top. He's got plenty of speed here. What's he going to lay down for us? Drives up into the lip. Holds onto that rail. Brings it right down through to the bowl. Again out onto the open face. Staying with it now. He's going to climb into this section. Keep some speed to get down the line. This wave standing up nicely for him. Little layback jam on the inside there. Needs a big hit here. He gets it.
Never really settled into a turn on the outside, whereas Wade got to settle in because of that smooth face.
Hey, you know what, though? It's what's kind of cool is that this heat was touted as to be a very close one, and it sure is. It's unfolding exactly like that. But I agree with the Strider, and this wave does have that lerp on it, and so he had to drive through maneuvers. It was a little less more disjointed on the outside, but he put it together on this inside section. A lot more connection with the lip. I love how he drove through that turn there. That was not an easy section. The layback, he tried to get a little bit more out of it, you know, pointing that board directly into the bowl. A nice solid finish on that inside section.
The intensity, but on the outside, Wade Carmichael with a bigger wave and a huge section to dig into there. Similar kind of opening moves for these two competitors as Wade has to deal with some foam on the face caused by Jordy's ride, but this wave standing up. Very comparable surfing at this point in time. A lot of similar terms by these two competitors.
Wow.
Wade finishes with a float on the inside. Strider watching that one unfold. Bigger wave for Wade. Strider, but a bit of foam on the face to deal with as well.
Yeah, you know, again, cleaner face for Wade. This first driving turn here. You know, this one, this section here flattened out because it went into the deeper water. And I thought, oh, for sure, Jordy was getting the better of the exchange. And then all of a sudden, the wave stood up again on the inside and went into some clean water once again, like Strider had mentioned. Another really, really close exchange.
Really close exchange, and as we mentioned, very similar turns. So the judges are going to get the opportunity to compare some of those moves. Wade started his ride like Jordy, a big drawn-out carve on the outside, but hit a bump halfway through this turn, and like Jordy, almost had to let off on the rail a little bit.
Right there, you see just a bit, and that's a little sloughing of the speed, because what happens in that moment when you're driving like that is that your board feels like it's right there at the edge and just sliding out, and you have to give a little bit off. It's doubling up.
So Jordy wants to get himself on that second wave of the set. He's committed now. Needs a 6.64 out of this ride. Has a lot of speed. Drives up into the pocket. Tricky section, but he somehow hangs onto it. Up onto the foam and just loses his footing.
Uh-oh, that's tough. Choosing waves, selecting waves.
He looks like Jesus. And here he goes. So using his priority on this one. The bearded one drives off the bottom into this first section, and the confidence is soaring as he hammers that rail. Squeaks in that second turn. The wave stands up again, and he delivers a big floating re-entry, but goes down. Had he stuck that, the 6.3 was gone.
Yeah, no, that was a big mistake in my opinion. He needed to just slam that door shut. Now it is open for Jordy Smith on the ball. Again, Pertamo, the head judge, said that's what you want to see. But look at the canvas. I mean, look how smooth that face is. And he just, again, drives that compression, driving that arm through the maneuver into the ball, getting the board moving back the opposite direction. Another slice, and then here was the combination of major moves. He had it, the connection with the lip, which is always so critical to do here at Bell's, and then the stumble, and that was it. 6-3 definitely would have been out the door.
And Jordy Smith, 5 events in a row now. He has been knocked in the third round, and that stings, especially after surfing 2 right-hand point breaks. We expect him to really shine.
How psyched is that kid?
He's on fire. Another big heat coming your way in just a moment. Up next, the Tahitian, Michelle Perez, takes on Kolohe Andino. Don't miss it.